Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thanks so much for joining our sessions. This is the CFAB ICW live session. Okay. We are happy to have Farhan with us. Farhan is from ICW. Okay. The whole live sessions is actually covering about the value of being the ICAW member and the pathway to become the ICW member, and also the scholarship available for you to apply. They are actually Yayasan Peneraju scholarships, and the scholarship actually cover quite a lot. Will allow you to actually pursue on the program, and then you can save a lot of money from through the scholarship. Okay, so the first sessions, basically I'll pass on to Farhan from ICW. He will share with you the value of being the ICW members. Okay, so Farhan, over to you.
Hello everyone. So let's see if I can select myself. Thank you so much for making yourself available today. My name is Farhan Zamri. So by training, I'm also a qualified accountant, and I'm here to talk about ICAW as a membership body, and how I think that it's a good qualification for you guys to have. And then for the Yayasan Praju and the scholarship portion, then later on Chinong will take over on that part. So I'll share my screen. Uh, what is actually also interesting about me is that I also used to study in Sunway tests. So that time it was 2005. So in some ways Sunway is like coming home for me. Right. So I'm here to share about ICW and how you can discover your dreams with ICW. So ICAW, we were founded in 1880, and then we are based at this place in London called Chartered Accountant Hall. How it works in comparison to Malaysia, ICAW is a loosely comparison, is equivalent to MIA. Each country has a national chartered accounting body, and for UK it's ICAEW, and then we then open up our office all over the world. It's interesting to note that when ICAW, I think what close to maybe 15 years ago, when they wanted to step outside of UK and when they analyzed in the whole world where they would like to land and call themselves an international qualification, they realized there's a lot of strong students from Malaysia. And one of the major office when they went outside UK is to land in Malaysia. So sometimes it's kind of I find it's an interesting stats to see that Malaysia students are strong, especially when it comes to accounting qualification. So we have about 156,000 members in 150 countries. We have around slightly more than 200 authorized training employer. I'll cover this later. When you train ICW Chartered Accountant, you have to you will train at the authorized training employer. Uh, in Malaysia, especially in Malaysia, when you actually join the program at Sunway, all of our students are 100% employed successfully after completing the professional level. I feel, I don't know about you, but during our parents' time, there are some qualification that you take, and the employees are waiting for you. They are gunning for you, and as during our times, it's no longer the case. Once you graduate, you have to compete for your places. Now it's still a competition, but I think this program is one of the few programs that the employers are waiting for you, and to me is of great value. Whenever I advise my younger family members or my friends, pick something that you know of is of value, and you know is of value when you have stats like 100% people are employed, so you don't have to have issue with unemployment and that kind of stuff. So we have like FTSE 100 companies, like all the big brands, and 96 out of 100 global leading brands, they employ ICW Chartered Accountant. So you talk about value. You talk about positioning yourself correctly, ICW is the way to go. So traditional thinking is that when you become a chartered accountant, you just number crunch. But it's actually interesting to note that ICW, like I mentioned earlier, 96 out of 100 brands, you can actually work in any industry. So on these slides, I like to share a few things, right? One, at the time of like right now in 2021, when the world is facing challenges with COVID, you don't know which which industry might change, which industry will survive, and which industry that you can actually build your whole career. It's actually quite difficult at the age of what, just after SPM, trying to glance into the future and see which industry suits you well and which industry that can make a living until you grow old and that kind of stuff. So advantage of ICAW that you can jump from mining all the way to entertainment, education, hospitality. I find myself when I'm inside this industry that I'm not that much affected by collapse in economy, by issues such as COVID, is because that we are agile. We can move to different industry should we need to. That's the thing I find interesting. It's amazing. I'm sure that this COVID-19, not a lot of companies have COVID-19, this pandemic inside their risk profile. Like sometimes when you see like some of my friends, there are certain industries, for example, aviation, you could see their life was so smooth, so comfortable, and then this hit is really create an impact. It's not easy to tell your kids how could like we were living a certain life at certain point of your life, and suddenly something happened and you're no longer the same. You can't afford to do the same thing. You can't go do eat or that kind of stuff. So that affects. So I find it's one of the major uh, points that you can work in an industry. Another stories which I like to share is like it's actually story of my wife. So basically, she feels that she's interested in fashion, right? But then when deciding, she realized that we were talking, and then we know that fashion is not the most stable of industry. You could be really successful, or you could be a nobody. But that's her passion, right? But when we were discussing, a wise person did tell us that maybe we should consider a career in accountancy because you can then exist in an industry. So that's good, which means what she does right now is she's a chartered accountant, but then she works in a fashion industry. So therefore, you get the best of both worlds. So that's why I see that this is a very agile qualification that can actually go to any industry, which helps whether in terms of COVID or whether in personally that you actually attracted to certain industry and you still want to retain a certain comfortable earning throughout your career. So without further saying anything else, obviously that what I'm trying to say here is ICW, it will take you places. I would like to share here that ICW, when they say that they take places, what does it actually means? All professional accounting body, they claim that they are global, but it's important to know what does it mean when everybody claims that they are global. Everybody says that they're global. What does it mean? It's not that when you go to a country that your qualification body is famous enough. The whole idea of being worldwide, being global, is whether when you actually work in that country, can you sign off the financial statement. So that is actually very tricky. It's very technical. Like I say, each country have their own body. Like for example, Singapore is ISKA, and then Indonesia Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia and that kind of stuff, as you can see. So how it works is ICW, they are together with the bodies that is on the screen here. We form part of the Chartered Accountant Worldwide, where there is a mutual reciprocal and acceptance between the two membership body, which means that if, for example, an ICAW member goes to Singapore and then they want to work in Singapore, okay, don't get me wrong, work, most professional body that claims as a global, they can work. But when it comes to really signing off financial statement, not every membership body can. So for ICW with ISCA, they have a direct conversion, which means you don't need to top up, you don't need to do any more papers in order to sign off at that particular country. And I find that is a huge advantage. I feel that it's very technical. You see each country have different ruling, but ICW with the partnership under this partnership chartered accountants worldwide, you will see that we can actually practice at quite a number of reputable country, not just the one that is on screen right now. We are also part of the Global Accounting Alliance, where we also exchange our ideas and our views in terms of our whole general direction of the accounting body. I always feel that sometimes it's a saying, it's a Malaysian saying, is that it takes a whole village to raise a child. And I feel to when I mentioned earlier that 100% of the students who completed professional level, they get to work, and get to work, they get to choose on which industry they go into. And I've shared with you all the values, right? And when you share a value, it is you wonder like how much does it take for you to produce such value. So in order to produce an ICW chartered accountant, these are the four key components. You have students such as yourself, or that will be you in the next few years, and you have your employers, our authorized training employers that I mentioned, ICW, that's us, and the tuition provider, which is Sunway. So all these four components, we have to work together in order to actually produce someone of value, which will carry this ICW badge, which will lead you to amazing careers in the future. Such as your students, such as yourself, you will be required to put in the hours for you to study, to really apply yourself, to be committed for your exam, which Chilung will cover later. At the employer stage, right, if you can see, based on logic, even you are the smartest student in school, if you don't apply yourself well, you won't get anywhere. So basically at the employers, they will we have a discussion with the employers where they have agreed to train you. When they say they train you, you will be covered with most relevant experience that can actually grow you, make sure you blossom into a employee that is valuable to them and valuable to yourself and valuable to the industry and society. At ICW, for us, our role, we create the module, we make sure that you are technically capable in order to actually deliver your day-to-day work. So then that's why we created the 15 modules which we created ourselves. We produce our own digital learning materials, and you study all this exam for you to be technically competent together with your skills in order to be ICW chartered accountant. And then your tuition provider Sunway test. They have, once ICW have the modules, they then do their best to make sure that you embody this module, make sure you understand this modules, make sure you perform well inside your exam. So you see, this is how you produce someone of value. It's not a one-way street. It's not just one person studying on your own. It takes a community in order to produce someone of value. So when I mention right now with the ATE, you will sign what we call a training agreement. So I just share a bit of routes to qualify. Obviously, there's a lot of ways for you to become ICW chartered accountant, from SPM, which is more relevant to you guys, and then you go through the Sunway module, and then you at the advanced level. Okay, it can be confusing now, but no worry. After this, Chilong will cover more. So, but in general, you spend about 1.5 years to 2 years full-time studies, and CFAB, and then a professional level, another 1 year, and then you will start working at the advanced level at the reputable Big Five and our other ATEs. So basically, that's the route which you guys will be taking. But there are other routes such as the A levels, which goes to the certificate level and the professional level, and then or the degree in accounting where you gain certain exemptions and then you go to the professional level, straight to professional level. Usually you get 8 exemptions. It depends on the universities that you go to. You will get 2 ICW within a different route. But the key points here is at the training agreement. So at the TA level is where I mentioned earlier, is that the employers have when they sign to become an authorized training employer, they have to understand what it means that when you train an ICW chartered accountant, we have like I think I'm a 7 steps ladder. It makes sure that you have critical thinking, you have communication, you have all these abilities for you to cover, for you to be considered competent. It's not just technical ability. Your exam granted, when you pass, you're technically sound. But what is the point of being smart and you're technically sound if you cannot communicate your thought process? That will make you less effective of an employee. So that's why communication is one of the ladder. Critical thinking is you have the technical knowledge for you to have the critical thinking to synthesize the problem at hand and for you to apply the correct solution that requires critical thinking. So that is also one of the career ladders. So there's a few career ladders that the ATEs they will share with you for your TA during your TA agreement, and the combination of this experience will make sure you complete as an ICW chartered accountant. So the duration is approximately 3 to 4 years. How it works is you will be working, and then you will have what we call online training file. And then when you actually do your work, you have to go back. At example, you have to reflect. What did I do today? Is it something that would actually improve my communication skill? Would it make me a better decision maker? And then you log in. So the idea is simple. Like I mentioned earlier, technically sound, if you don't apply yourself at the correct experience, you won't amount to the best of your ability. So by doing this, there's a check balance to make sure that did you cover all the important experience for you to learn. At authorized training employer, you could see here there are more than 200. These are big reputable companies ranging from M-Bank to Sapura Kencana. You're talking about energy companies, you're talking about there's Genting casino, and there is insurance. It goes all the way all the industries. It's a commitment by the employers that they are willing, they need the best to handle their finance, and therefore they sign an ATE agreement with us in order to make sure they train you as best as they can based on all the requirements I mentioned earlier. I sometimes like to share all these corporate leaders as a form of to inspire you guys. Like you can see that all these corporate leaders, when I was during your age, when I look at myself and see how is it, how do I chart my path to be successful, I do look at all these corporate leaders, and the idea is when you look at them and you try to see the common denominator. So basically, you know that different people are based on either opportunity in life or rezeki for the matter. You see that some people they actually manage to chart their path all the way until they become like for example a CEO of a major big company. And how to do that is that you will see what batches they have, what experience they go through throughout their career, and for you to try and see which one resonates with which one you want to try. You could see from the chairman of Equinas, Director Khazanah, Tan Sri Datuk Seri Arshad Raja Tun Uda, he is also an ICW member. He's one of the earliest ICW member in Malaysia. And Datuk Faiz Azmi, Executive Chairman of PwC, also ICW Chartered Accountant, and also Tengku Muhammad Taufik, which is right now is one of the young CEOs that is being responsible for one of the major companies in Malaysia. And I find that amazing. And you can see that is from the corporate industry, but from the audit firm, you could see that the managing partner of BDO and EY are both ICW Chartered Accountant. Adrian is our head of financial service at KPMG, also an ICW Chartered Accountant. So, but sometimes students will say that, okay, like I say, okay, some people like to go into the financial route and that kind of stuff. But what about career that is like something like different? Like for example, you could see here from the BFM, Noel Lim, she's a presenter. and she's also a producer at BFM. And I find that interesting that ICW is it's there for you to actually embark on a career which is very agile and it can take you places. I pass you back to Chilung, and if you have any question, I'm also here to help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Farhan. Thank you so much. Okay, it was very informative. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm sure every one of you have, after hearing what Farhan have told you guys about the ICW and then the value of being the ICW member, um, it was very interesting, right? So for those of you actually have the intention to embark on into the program, okay, this is where I will come in to share with you on the pathway, how to obtain these qualifications and how to become the ICW member. Okay, so let me share with you my slides now. Okay, okay. So basically, the pathway is actually not that complicated. Okay, it's slightly different from the normal professional other normal professional programs, other professional qualification program where you can complete the whole program, then only you go out and join the workforce. That's where you get your experience and you become a member. For ICW, actually run a different structure. Okay, so how different is this? Okay, so basically, to start off the program, you will have to go through the ICW foundation program, which is called the CFAB program. So CFAB stands for Certificate in Finance, Accounting, and Business. Okay, so the minimum entry requirements to go into the program is you need to have at least 5 A's in your SPM. Might sound a bit slightly higher than any other professional body out there, right? Okay, why is that 5 A's and not credits? Is simply because the program is run in such that when you doing your final three paper, that's where you got to work and study. Okay, let me show you the pathway how do this program works. Okay, so basically to come in to the program, okay, so you will just have to complete your SPM and then you need to have 5 A's. Okay, two must be English and your mathematics. Okay, that's where you are qualified. Once you fulfill 5A, then you are qualified to go into the foundation program we've called the CFAB. Okay, so this CFAB program will take you about 1.5 years. Okay, inside this 1.5 year, you will do 6 core paper and 6 additional paper. Okay, but in actual fact, the programmer, you only do 1 year, you only study full-time 1 year, 3 months. It's simply because your last 3 months, you will actually go out to work as an intern. This is where the work-based learning, WBL, comes in. Okay, so for this bit here, so though you don't have to worry, this is where Sunway will come in. We will actually help you to look for internship. Okay, where we will place you. Usually, we will target on big professional services firm lah. Okay, that's where you will gain some experience. Okay, the internships compared to any other internships in the degree is actually very different because the internship, the work-based learning that you will be that learning during when you join the workforce, you will actually become an auditor assistant. That's where you will actually learn how the actual audit works like. Then you'll follow them. Basically, you'll see how they really work to give you some experience and some idea, okay, how an auditing work is like. Okay, so then after you complete the 3 months WBL, that's where you will move on to the professional level. Okay, ICW in total, they are 15 papers. No, sorry, they are altogether 15 papers. Yes, correct. Okay, so there are 6 papers. Okay, 6 papers in certificate level, 6 paper in professional level. You come to 12, and then your last 3 paper will be in advanced level. Okay, because you complete the CFAB program, you will get 6 paper exemptions in certificate level. That's where you will jump straight to professional level. Okay, the professional level, there are 6 paper, as I mentioned earlier. Then this is where you can complete the program within a year. Okay, so after you complete the 6 paper under professional, that's where you will move on to the final. Okay, you do your last 3 paper. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, your last 3 paper, you got to work and study. So this is where the training contracts come in. Okay, you will sign a 3 plus 1 year training contracts. Okay, which is 4 years. So you are able to complete the 3 paper within the 3 years. Okay, so under the training contract, you will actually work in with the ICAEW authorized training employer, okay, ATEs. Okay, from there, they will actually have the structure which allows you to actually do the 2 paper first in the second year, and then your final paper, case study paper, in your final year. Okay, once you complete the case study paper, and then you complete, and also you complete the 450 working days. Okay, why, how does this 450 working days come in? It's simply because you need to actually um, do a log sheet. Okay, and then why do you have to work with the ICAEW authorized training employer? It's simply because every company that's registered under the ICW authorized training employer, there's a liaison person that will take care of the students actually pursuing the ICW program. So that's why only ICW authorized training employer you are able to do the 450 days experience log sheets in a way. So once you complete the 3 years plus the 3 paper, that's where you will get the ICAW membership, that you can become ICAW member. Okay, once you become ICW member, then ICW will give you a member cert. Okay, that cert will be the your license, will be the key for you to actually enhance your career into accountancy, or if you want to become a chartered accountant. Okay, let's say in Malaysia, you just need to apply to MIA. MIA stands for Malaysian Institute of Accountants. It's not missing in action. Okay, it's our Malaysian accountancy regulatory body. So once you become MIA member, that's where you can call yourself as a chartered accountant, in Malaysia. Okay, similar, let's say if you want to practice job, if you want to actually look for career opportunity in overseas, like what Farhan has shared with you guys, ICW is actually recognized globally. You're able to practice within 150 countries, okay, including US and Canada. So in another words, ICAEW actually opened the path for you to move your career in overseas. Okay, so why ICW, as Farhan actually show you on the stats, the total number of students is actually about 100 over 1,000 members. Okay, and then if you, let's say if you want to do a comparison with some other professional body out there, ICW membership members is actually slightly smaller. Okay, is the reason being is simply because ICW program, the members, the members, they actually brand themselves as the prestigious qualifications and prestigious member, in such that they want to actually maintain the quality of the member. So as you can see, like what Farhan I think have shown you, the corporate leaders, and then also the FTSE 100s, all those top organizations globally, not only in Malaysia, globally, and all those corporate leaders, majority of them are actually ICW members. As you can see, they are all the elite groups of members. So that's why they are they are kind of like a bit, not to say very choosy or something, a bit conscious in actually recruiting members, or qualify, means give you the qualifications, awards the qualifications to their to the to the students, or who want to actually pursue on the program. So in such that, that's why the entry requirements is slightly much more higher, in a way like they are actually looking for more like elite students to come in. And We are very proud to share with you that over the program, our students actually pursuing on this program. Majority of them are actually holding have a very good results in a way. It's also simply because of the scholarship that they're giving out. And to embark into this program, you do not require to have any background in accounting. Okay, I can tell you almost 90% of students pursuing this program are all from sanctionship and never have accounting background before. And also we have accounting, principal accounting students who actually are coming to this program. Okay, if you have principal accountant background, you will be added advantage in a way. It will give you an idea basically what is debit and credits, what is double entry all about. Okay, but then again, you have to be conscious, you have to understand that this whole program is actually give you a qualifications whereby you are able to move your career into the higher level in the corporate ladder, meaning that you are able to hold the CEO or CFO position. And the syllabus wise is not just doing accounts only. So you don't just do accounts, you actually do study a lot more. You are in a way like being trained how to start up your business, how to run an organizations. Okay, so for those of you who actually plan to be an entrepreneur and plan to start your own business, so this will be the best program. As the next slide, basically, I will share with you on the Yayasan first. Then later on, I will share with you on the subjects. So from there, you'll be able to see how basically how special the ICW programs and the subjects that they have actually planned out for the students. As you can see, things that you will study later on. So come to the next step basically is the Yayasan Peneraju scholarships. Sure, basically all of you are very keen to know basically how much you get, how to embark on, and then how Yayasan come into it to help you to get this qualification. Okay, so under Yayasan Peneraju scholars, right, basically you guys are very lucky. Okay, you can actually apply through this scheme called the undergraduate Perakaunan Asas. So in a way, like Yayasan basically will cover at Yayasan and Sunway basically will cover the program, the tuition fee and the examination fee for the whole CFAB program. Later, I will show you basically the amount of fee that Yayasan will cover, and then Sunway, how Sunway will actually waive the those extra charges. Okay, so basically the first half, if you are interested to embark on the program, so the first step is that you got to actually apply to this undergraduate program Asas, okay, to gain the scholarships, top-up scholarships to pursue the CFAB program. So after you complete the CFAB program, which is 6+6 additional paper, plus another 3 more MQ subjects, so all in basically plus the WBL, all in will be about 6 additional paper. Okay, but the core paper is actually 6 paper lah. Okay, not to worry about this additional paper. Okay, because it's actually internal paper. It's part you can you are able to, it's internal examinations, you can definitely pass through the paper, not to worry at all. Okay, this whole program, after you complete your CFAB program, that's where you will proceed to the ICAW professional level 6 paper. Okay, under this 6 paper, basically you can actually upgrade your scholarships into the graduate Perakaunan scholarships. Okay, this is actually another tier of the scholarship that you can apply through Yayasan Peneraju. Okay, you in order to get this scholarship, you need to actually score averagely 65% in your CFAB. Okay, so might sound a bit impossible for you guys, right? Because 65%, oh, actually quite high. But I can tell you, when you come into the CFAB program through our guidance, and if you really work hard, okay, 65% is not a problem at all, because generally, our students actually averagely score how many percent? They score actually 90 to 100%. In other words, our pass rate for the CFAB program is ranges between 90 to 85%. So generally 65% is not a problem at all. So majority of students are able to actually score really high in CFAB. Okay, so as long as you put in efforts, you follow our guidance, then you do your revision at home. Not to say you don't need to actually put in 24 hours in to study, or you don't need to put in a lot of hours studies. You just need to do revisions. Every day, no field revisions. Revise what the lecturer has taught you, revise what the lecturer can teach you tomorrow. Okay, then when you go into classes, then you'll be able to actually understand more and better. So passing, scoring, definitely not a problem. You just need to put in extra efforts. Okay, so once you pass through the sixth paper, like I mentioned earlier, that's where you actually move on to the final three paper. That's where you get the you sign a training contract with the ICW ATEs. Okay, this is where you do your last paper. So under these training contracts, because you sign a training contract with the authorized training employer, so these three papers, right, the authorized training employer will actually pay for you. They'll pay for your tuition fee and your examination fee. So basically, this part here is already covered. Okay, the moment you sign a contract. So once you get this one and then you do well, then you apply for another Yayasan Peneraju graduate Perakaunan. So in a way, like you are able to actually get the full sponsorship for the whole program. Okay, but then again, the professional level, you got to understand, is actually subject to Yayasan approval. Okay, but generally, if you are able to score 60% and above in CFAB, chances of you will be very high to get the other scholarships. Okay, so how the Penerajus come in basically under CFAB, they will cover the number of papers that you need to sit for examinations, plus another two receipt paper. Okay, so receipt paper also they cover, but don't the moment you come in, don't actually plan to receipt the paper lah. That's where our students, that's where normally our students don't do that lah. In a way, like the moment they come in, they will plan, they will pass the paper within one attempt. Don't ever think of the receipt, have this receipt options in your mind. So you have to actually strike off the receipts. Every time go for examination, you pass, you move on, you pass, you move on. Okay, don't think about the receipts. Okay, then professional level, basically six paper. Then we have they have also covered two receipt paper if you can make it. Okay, just for precaution. If you really cannot do it, or somehow during the examination suddenly you got your mind is locked or you can't think of anything, then you know then or you're sick, then you during that time you force yourself to go for examination. You cannot make it. Not to worry. There's another time for you to receive your paper. Okay, so this ICW program, you got to understand the first trial papers. Actually, there's a condition that's actually quite a, is they actually put it not to say really strict condition in a way like they want the students to be serious in their studies. So each paper you are given 4 attempts. You have to pass the paper within 4 attempts. Means you can fill the paper. You cannot fill more than 4 times each paper. Okay, so generally our students are able to make it for the second round when they receive the paper. So throughout the track records, if you ask me whether is there any students who actually fail more than 4 times, I would say probably very minimal, really very minimal, because generally they are able to pass through the whole program. Okay, so this is the Peneraju sponsorship, and this is a scholarship that's available for you to apply. Okay, after these sessions, we will actually send you more information about this one, and then you can actually read up the FAQ about the Perakaunan Asas, how do you apply, then the conditions and all those things. Yeah, okay, and also the link for you to apply. Okay, registration is actually open for our coming July intake, and we have another intake in August. So you can actually apply. Its registration is open, so you can apply anytime. We will take in your forecast results. Okay, those of you who already have 5 A's in your forecast result, you're able to come in. If those of you do not have 5 A's, okay, probably you might have to wait for your actual SPM result release. That estimate your SPM result will be releasing by next month in a way. Okay, so this is a fee that the total amount of scholarship that you're getting, and then what Sunway will waive. Okay, the whole program from CFAB to ICW will cost roughly around 72K, around that. Okay, CFAB to ICW. If you talk about just CFAB alone, one will cost you roughly about 30K. Okay, so let's talk about the Perakaunan Asas and the CFAB here. Okay, if you want to get the scholarships, okay, so under Yayasan Peneraju, basically, Yayasan Peneraju will cover all the UK fee and the tuition fee. See the 6 paper tuition fee. So Yayasan will cover around nearly around 18Ks. Okay, out of that, there actually have this additional paper that we will actually usually charge about student 8,000 plus. Not to worry, once you are once you offer this scholarship under Yayasan Peneraju, what we will do that we will waive the 8,000 plus additional fee under the additional subjects fee. We will waive everything. Okay, that's where you actually save 8,000 plus under some way. You just need to pay the general fee of 3,007. This 3,007 is actually for the whole semester of CFAB. You don't have to pay one shot 3,007. You pay by semester basis. Each semester probably costs you around 1,000 plus to about few hundred ringgits. So you just need to pay that only. Okay, you don't need to pay one shot 3,007 to us. Okay, so it's actually very worth it, right? Correct or not? So in a way, like out of 20 over thousand, you only need to pay 3,000 plus if you come in with these scholarships. Okay, it's actually open for registration. Minimum entry requirements to apply is only 5As. Okay, 5As you can apply. It's actually a entry requirements to come into the program. Okay, so basically there is a target. Okay, we actually are given only 26 students place for students to apply for these scholarships. So those of you who are really interested, I would suggest, I will ask you, I will suggest you act fast, okay, ASAP, do register with us, and then after register with us, then after that you go into the Yayasan website, register to get these scholarships because it's actually limited. It's not open. We don't have we don't have a large number. We only given 26 seats for this Perakaunan Asas. So again, I stress for those of you who are really interested to embark into the CFAB ICW, to register ASAP. Okay. So basically, the one that earlier I actually mentioned to you, basically the subjects that you will be doing in the CFAB program, CFAB ICW program. You see, under the CFAB program, the 6 paper that you will be doing, right? Only one subject are accounting paper, as you can see. Then the rest of the paper is not accounting. As you can see, you will do assurance management informations, business technology and finance, principle in taxations and law. So you are actually studying more than accounts. Okay, because the skill that you need to run an organization, you don't just need accounts, you need a lot more other skills. So that's why this is where ICW embed the subjects to provide you, to give you the skills that you are able to actually use that to start your own business in a way, to enhance your career, to actually to seek for your career that you want, or your dream job that you want, not only in Malaysia, globally. The 6 additional paper, basically you have English 1, 2, and 3, and then you have business mathematics, you have interpersonal communication, you have critical thinking. Okay, this whole program, critical thinking is very important. Okay, this is where they will actually train you to think out from the box. Okay, everything that you think, you don't you only think within the box in a way, like we only think how to do this solution, or this is what they have done, so we follow what they have done, what have people done, we follow. So in ICW, basically, they want to train them to think out from the box in a way, like don't just follow what people do. You think out, probably there might be another solution which is much better than what people have done, or how do you improvise what people have done into a better one. So in a way, like you think out from the box. So this is very very important, critical thinking. Okay, so these are all foundation level. Don't worry about the structure, and then whether foundation level I do so many subjects is definitely a very difficult program. I can tell you it's definitely not that difficult. Okay, it's a foundation level. Basically, everything that you study here is kind of like giving you an idea. Okay, it's like a basic knowledge, an idea for you to prepare you to actually move on to the higher level. That's why our pass rate is about between 90 to 100% pass rate. I stress that again. Okay, so like I said, you have actually 3 months work-based learning internship. You go out to work. Imagine make a foundation program that you can actually get an internship only in CFAB ICW program that you are able to do that. Okay. So the ICW syllabus, basically, as you can see, they actually divided into 3 levels. As I mentioned earlier, you need to complete about 15 papers. Then the CFAB certificate level, basically, once you complete your CFAB, you will be able to get this paper exemption. It's simply because this paper is actually a mirror subjects to your CFAB 6 subjects. As you can see, accounting, financial information, just like I mentioned to you guys, right? So these are actually the mirror subjects in your CFAB. Okay, once you complete your CFAB, that's where you jump straight to the professional level. So you do the professional level 6 paper. As you can see, professional level, there is only one subject accounting paper, and the rest of the subjects are not accounting. You can see you do audit, you do business planning, you plan out your business. Then you do tax compliance, you do business strategies and technology, you do finance management. Okay, you can see through the subjects when you look at it, when you read through the subject's name, you'll be roughly able to gauge basically what will you be studying. You're studying basically generally how to more on like business skills, okay, managing skill, how's the technologies, innovations. So you actually study a very different kind of subjects that you'll be doing. So that's why I stress that again. Don't be confused that when you do accountancy program, you will only do account, debit credit, debit credit, debit credit. It's totally not the thing, not what you are think, what you think it is. It's actually a lot more. Okay. Then after that, your final, you will do this case study paper, corporate reporting, this accounting paper, and the rest, the other paper is actually strategic business management. Okay, so you can see the difference, the subjects that you will be doing. Okay, so very interesting subject, right, everyone? Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, basically, I want to re-stress again the pass rate. You can see CFAB, basically, we have 90 to 100% pass rates. And then CFAB professional, we have 80 to 85%. And then advanced level, we have 70 to 75%, 75 to 80%. So you can see, basically, the pass rate is actually very high for professional level for our ICW program. Okay. So we have intakes, okay? We have intake previously already over. The coming one, we have July intake and also August intake, okay? You can apply either one. So I would suggest to you, basically, if you can start in July itself, okay, don't wait because you already wait for so long already, okay? Don't wait for anymore. Just start in July and then you can complete your program earlier, okay? CFAB program, basically, examination actually by structure base, okay? So you follow our timetable, basically it's in the structure, so you just have to go for examination because it's on computer on demand base. Okay, the professional level examinations we have 4 times a year. Okay, then the advanced level basically 2 times a year, so you're able actually to pass the examinations very fast. You don't have to wait for so long to receive your paper. Okay, so fast program. Okay, what do we mean by fast? In a way, like you are able to join the workforce much more earlier compared to a degree students. And then when you compare to the year of completion for the whole program, for CFAB ICW is only take you 5.5 years. And then the degree pathway, basically, it will take you 8 years. Okay, because if you just hold a degree, is alone is just not enough for you to survive in the industry. Put it this way, trust me, because we have a lot of part timers actually came back to us to actually pursue their study because there's a limitations on the promotion. They can't actually move high, or they can't actually get a better good promotion. It's simply because they only have a degree qualification. They can't move far. So once you have a professional qualifications, and if you are once you are a member of a professional body, for example, like ICW, I can tell you your career, your enhancement basically are limitless. You're able to move really, really far, and then you don't have to fall back. You don't have to come back and then start all the way, study all the way again. Like those to actually work for a few years or 10 years or 20 years and come back, they have to re-study all over again because they want to enhance on their career because they just have a degree. So a degree is just not enough. But a degree in what people say, cukup makan dah, but it's not enough for you to move on higher. Okay, so imagine if you actually have 2.5 years earlier to join the workforce, and then you will be earning much more. You join the workforce, basically you earn. Then imagine 2.5 years later, how much will be your salary compared to a degree or fresh graduate start to go out to work. So we can probably, I'm sure basically you guys are very good in your maths, okay? Then you do your maths. Let's say your starting pay is about 2004, 2008. For ICW, when you sign a training contract, you actually start work at the age of 20, okay? Because you join us at the age of 18, and then 2.5 years, Okay, 20 and a half. That's where you actually complete your CFAB and ICAW professional level paper. Then you move on to the advanced level. Okay, advanced level, you sign the training contract. That's where you actually work. Okay, you earn actual salary. That time your salary will be ranges between 2004 to 2008. It's actually the same pay that a degree students after they spend 4 years in their studies to go out and join the workforce. That will be the degree pay. But you only need to spend 2.5 years that you're earning a degree pay. So imagine by the time the degree finish their studies, they go out and join the workforce, and by the time how much you are earning, you only join the workforce earlier. So you guys do the maths. I'm sure you guys are very good in the maths. Okay. So probably the person who actually under degree will be working under you because you actually have few years of work experience already. Okay. So we are talking about fast. Okay. It's no longer like what we call like honeymoon year in your schools already in your secondary school, because secondary school, primary school basically is a honeymoon year that you don't have to worry at all. The only thing to worry is your examination. Then go for tuition class and then blah blah blah, make sure you pass your exam. But when you come out from your secondary school, when you move on to college and university, this is where you really need to think how fast you want to go out and join the workforce, because this is where this will be the determination year, that the faster you go out, the better qualification that you obtain, then the faster you earn a higher salary in a way. Okay, so this is where we will able to actually give you this kind of privilege. So why Sunway? Basically, Sunway TES is actually well known in professional accountancy program. We will talk about Sunway. A lot of people talk about say about accountancy program. Actually, we are referring to professional accountancy program. We are really good in professional accountancy program because we have a lot of achievements. Okay, for ICW, we have about 30 um, 30 world prize winners, and then we have about 10 order of merits. Then we have about uh, 1,000 over ACA graduates, okay, up to now. So as I mentioned earlier, you don't look at the number of graduates because these are all elites pool, okay, number of graduates. Imagine if the advantage of actually being a member of slightly smaller group of professional, slightly in a smaller group, um, you will be able to enjoy more benefits, and then more attention will be given to you in a way, and then more help and more assistance. Because and then also you are able to tap on to those corporate leaders, because member is actually not that many. So whenever you go for any networking sessions with ICW, you can easily go in and then to click on with any of the higher level leaders, because they know you, they are able to recognize you and know you, compared to a larger member pool. So there are so many people, so you will not be able to tap on all these corporate leaders. So that's the advantage of actually being an elite groups in the smaller groups. And then furthermore, it's actually recognized globally in such that you can go anywhere within 150 countries to work. You can go into Singapore, you can go into UK, you can go into Australia, you can go into Europe, any country that you dream of that you want to actually build your career there. Okay, so then we have this prize winners basically. Recent examination, basically we have both prize winners. Okay, Subway used to be the only exclusive institutions that offer the ICW program, because basically we bring the ICW to Malaysia to make it available for the SPM leavers like you guys. Okay, so but even though we are the only one, but we don't actually it's like in a way like we don't be complacent to what we are. We always try to push ourselves to achieve the highest level. So that's why we have all these more price and Malaysia price. We always encourage our students, nurture our students, motivate our students to obtain all these higher level position and recognition, so that you are being recognized when you go out to work. In such that if you are world prize when you go out for interview, there will be a special certs given issue to you. Then when the employer see that you are actually a top of the top elites, chances of you get higher will be much more higher, especially when you go out globally to work in a way. So basically, That's it. That's my presentation. I have my contact details and then Evelyn contact details and email address and WhatsApp. Do take a snapshot, okay? And those of you who are actually interested to actually apply for Yayasan Peneraju, these are the link, okay? Bit.ly, this link here to register. Okay. Sorry about the spelling mistake. It's actually a Peneraju, not Peneraju. Okay. So thank you so much. Okay. So for probably Q&A sessions, for those of you who actually like to ask more about the CFAB ICW program and the pathway on how to actually apply for Yayasan Peneraju scholarships, you can actually put type it in the chat box. Okay, then we will attend to the questions. Okay, so Farhan is here also, and then Hasmida actually is here. Probably I pass the session to Hasmida. Okay, Hasmida is actually our lecturers, and he is also the Yayasan Peneraju scholars. He actually applied for the Yayasan Peneraju to pursue his professional qualifications. Okay, so do type any questions, okay, anything that you like to ask in the chat box, then we will address your questions ASAP as soon as possible after Hasmida finish his sessions. Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, Hasmida, I pass on to you. Okay.
All right, thank you, Chilong. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all. Okay, by introduction, my name is Hasmizal. Okay, I'm actually a Sunway Test alumni. So basically, I was in Sunway Test before I proceed my career progress as an auditor, and then I changed my career path to become a lecturer. Okay, so basically, as a Peneraju student, okay, I would share my experience lah. So don't worry actually, because most of my friends reading my same batch are not from accounting background during SPM. So if you think that if you are SPM level without any accounting background, it will be difficult for you to pass the exam in professional level. So I think that is not a problem, because you are learning things from basic, you are learning things from beginning from scratch. So it actually depends on the student's efforts, it depends on the student willingness to pass, all right, and how they actually set their mindset. Okay, so basically, as an accounting lecturer, I believe that actually, even though we actually embark on the accounting program, like what Chilong has mentioned earlier, there is a lot more than accounting itself from this professional program. So you will learn a lot of subjects such as taxation, law, and so on. So this will actually be a very good input where you are actually surrounded with all kind of information. So meaning it doesn't necessarily that when you actually graduated, you need to become a professional accountant. But then there is a lot of options that you can go. You can go for banking industry, you can go for businesses and so on. So it's a good thing actually for you to embark to this program. Okay, as mentioned by Chilong, that I am actually one of the professional certificates members. But then I need to mention here that I am actually an SCCA members. However, now currently I'm teaching ICAW students, even though I have ACCA qualification. Right, so it's just that it doesn't matter which professional certificate you go for, but then as I'm here, I would like to promote ICAW because of the prestigious that this professional certificate can offer to the members. All right, as mentioned by Chilong also. So if you go to any events, okay, so as compared to the numbers of members in the ICW and also what we call in other professional members, professional bodies, I believe that you will be treated and also be recognized more if you take ICAW, as the number of ICW what we call members not in a big amount, but it's a very what we call specialized, and also this actually will ensure that you can gain more connection and so on. Yeah, why connection is important? First thing first, you want to build your networking and so on, right? So in that case, if you are running a business, or you as simple as a professional accounting practicing professional accountants accounting, uh, you would like to have this networking so that you can actually explore more in terms of the industry, and also update your knowledge from time to time. So this would be a good addition for you guys lah. All right. So to become a Peneraju scholars is actually something that what I must say is that do not take for granted lah. Do not take things for granted, because even though we are being sponsored, as you guys, you only need to actually bear the minimum general fee, and the rest will be covered by Sunway and also Peneraju itself. All right. But as a student, you need to set your targets. Okay, when you enter into this professional study, you will know that a lot of people who go into this professional study, they will fail. They would fail because they do not actually commit for their study. They do not actually put their efforts in their study. They do not actually believe that this is something that they want. They are very confusing. So those are the reason why students normally did not actually successfully pass the paper. But then a lot of proven graduates saying that it's already been proven, because we have a lot of graduates, and also if they can do, the concept is very simple. If they can pass the paper, why can't you? So actually, for your information, my program would be during that time is an accelerate program, which is I need to embark my professional study during my degree study. So I'm doing dual program, which is it is concurrently. So the difficulty levels will be high, because we need to study for our degree study during weekdays. Okay, I'm my bachelor study, and weekends we need to go for professional study. So we do not have any time for us to rest. There is no time for us to go shopping or anything. We only focus on study. And Alhamdulillah, during that time, walaupun even though it's only like 1.5 years of concurrent study, I believe that that times actually when we pass the paper, we will feel that those effort that you put in, those time that you actually invest in studying, will worth it. I really like to have more Bumi Putra of Peneraju to come into this professional study and become a professional accountant. Yeah, as I am myself is a scholar of Peneraju, and I already know what is the aspiration from Peneraju, and I believe that we as Bumi Putra, we should actually take this opportunity to prove that we also can become a professional accountants. Okay, so CFAB, we only have like around 6 paper to go, but then all the 6 paper are actually equivalent to the SPM, not equivalent lah, but then some sort like a little bit from SPM level. Just that the difference between SPM and CFAT is that CFAT syllabus are all in English, and it was in the UK what we call environment. But then SPM, you if you take accounting, it was done in Malay language. The difference is the language only. Okay, the difference is the language only. But don't worry actually, because those things that you learn in SPM is actually being repeated back in what we call CFAT level. For example, for accounting paper itself, if you actually learn about persamaan perkaunan in SPM as a principal accountant, you actually will learn again this thing in accounting equation in accounting paper. So it will be like similar concept, just that you need to translate those things into English. Okay, in terms of other papers, don't worry. Actually, some of you actually are scared because you need to learn law, you need to learn about taxation and so on, right? Don't worry. Actually, some of the concept actually you have learned in SBN as well. If you take economy, for example, you have learned how to calculate your percukaian because of under the topics of what we call pendapatan boleh guna. So this is the things that I say it's just an top up. Okay, it's just an additional added value from your previous knowledge. Okay, uh what else I want to share? Okay, okay, if I want to say that why should you embark with Sunway? Of course, Sunway has their merit itself, because Sunway is offering this subject, offering this professional certificate for so many years already. And we have proven with a lot of numbers of graduates, a lot of prize winner. So of course, this is something what we call uh, attracting factors for you to actually join Sunway as compared to the other institutions. And I believe that if you come to Sunway, you will feel a different what we call environment, whereby we also have international students and so on. So you can mix around with them. You can mix around with them. You can actually share knowledge with them. You can study in the group, and we do have we do encourage students to actually study in group for this kind of paper, especially those paper that needs understanding of the concept, so that you can discuss with your teammate and your classmate. Okay, basically, uh, in conclusion lah, I would say that I already says that the experience that I get from Sunway and as a Peneraju scholars, I believe that this actually those experience actually made who am I today. Okay, to become a lecturer, to become a professional auditor or professional accountant, it doesn't matter actually whatever career path that you choose. The things that matter is that whether you can put effort, whether you can commit to your study or not. Okay, if you have the opportunity, you should grab it, and this is the best opportunity that you can have in a lifetime. All right, so I hope that you actually decided to join our team Sunway, and I hope that you will join as soon as possible. All right, okay, that's all from me. Can I pass back to Chilong? Thank you.
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anita. Thank you so much. Okay, now come to our Q&A sessions. Okay, so please do put down your questions, okay, in the chat box. Then we will address the questions um, with you guys, okay? So if you have any questions, any burning questions, please do put it in the chat box, okay? So the first question is basically, if I'm a current CFAB students in first semester, can I apply for Yayasan Peneraju? The answer is yes. You can actually for this CFAB program. Basically, they're actually looking for SPM levels lah. For you can actually apply for the next level, which is the Perakaunan, Spring Perakaunan for the ICAW program. Okay, so that is actually open for CFAB students, meaning that after you complete your CFAB program, then you can get a scholarship for the professional level 6 papers. Okay, that you can apply, not a problem at all. But for the coming one, it's actually open for Form 5 papers, so probably you might not be able to apply for this at the moment for current students. Okay. Then the second question is basically, what is the difference between ACCA and ICW? The qualification same. Okay, so the ACCA and ICW qualification is actually a professional qualifications. Okay, so both of these qualifications are being recognized. In fact, you see the professional qualifications, how does this being recognized and difference between each other is actually the international recognitions in a way, global recognitions. So there are actually two bodies actually allow allow the professional body to actually gain access to the various countries. Okay, so they this IFAC, International Federation of Accounting, and then they have this GAA, Global Accountant Alliance, whereby actually if I show you the GAA members, means the professional bodies that's actually recognized within the GAA memberships. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, why you are able to actually means you're able to actually work in overseas with your colleague, with the once you hold a professional qualifications, you are able to practice and then seek for your career in overseas. You are able to practice to become a chartered accountant in overseas. It's simply because of these two association, which is the IFAC and then also the GA. So IFAC is actually being recognized within 130 countries. Okay, IFAC, the majority of the professional body out there, like out there beside ICW, majority of them are actually under IFAC. Okay, so that's why they're able to practice Okay, IFAC, there's a limitation. IFAC is that students members can't able to actually work in US and Canada. For those of you actually plan to work in US and Canada, IFAC is actually can't do not are not able to gain the access there. And if for the GAA, as you can see, actually Farhan show you on the list that only 10 professional bodies are recognized under able to become a GAA member, 10 professional bodies. So one of the professional bodies is actually the ICW. Then you have Hong Kong, then you have the Canada, then you have the US, then you have the Japan, then you have the Iran, then you have the India, then you have the Germany. Okay, so these are actually the chartered accountant professional bodies. Okay, the chartered accountant professional bodies. So the advantage of being the GAA member is that you're able to work in 150 countries, including US and Canada. So that's why the options of all countries that you can pursue is a lot more. Um, so one of the difference between ACCA and ICW, ACCA are able to give you the access to different countries. Okay, and then the generic difference basically is actually come down to the entry requirements. ACCA, ICW, ACCA credits that ICW you need to have 5 A's. And ACCA actually do not have the internship and the training contracts, okay? But ICW is inbuilt into your studies. So in another words, when you pursue on into the ICW program, right, is you kind of like get a guarantee job placement. Okay, we don't put it guarantee like in a way, but we always will always help the students to get job placement in a way like it's kind of like a guarantee. So the moment you come into ICW, you don't have to worry that you cannot find a job. We will ensure you that you will get a job. Okay, it's simply because your last paper you got to engage with the authorized training employer in order to finish the whole program. So it's kind of like a guaranteed job placement. So this one is an extra plus points for ICW, a guaranteed job employment. Okay, and then the place or the companies that you will engage with is not small companies. It's going to be big tiers company, big tier organization, companies or banking industries. All these are reputable global industry players, companies. So you don't have to worry. You are able to actually tap on to work with them. Okay, so the next questions, basically, if I apply to Yayasan Peneraju ACCA 5A, can I apply for Yayasan Peneraju undergraduate Perakaunan 2? Unfortunately, you can only apply to one. You can't actually apply for both. So when you actually apply to ACCA 5A, so you will actually go through the ACCA 5A. So for this video, Aspen, probably I will have to get back to you and I will double check through with to what my understanding basically is only one. But let's say if you are interested to apply for the Perakaunan Asas under the CFAB program, I will actually check with you the process, how to actually to change the applications from your ACCFIA to this Perakaunan Asas. I will get back to you in a way. Asman, I'll get back to you. So I will leave down my contact number and my email address. So probably we can communicate from there further. Okay. So the next questions, basically, like ACCA program, there is no pointer, just pass marks. Right? Is it same with ICAEW? Okay. ACCA basically, you just need to pass the paper, which is correct. The passing mark is actually 50%. And then if you score your paper, that's where you will be recognized as the world prize and Malaysian prize in the top students in the world, top student Malaysia. Same go with ICW. Okay, the passing mark for the first 4 papers is 55%. Okay, then the last 3 papers is actually 50%. So for if you are Yayasan Peneraju scholars, okay, you apply for scholarship, you just need to pass the paper. That's all. You do not need to maintain any CGPA. Okay, so passing is very important. Just pass. Just remember the passing mark. Okay, ICW first 4 paper is 55%, and the last 3 paper is 50%. Then if you talk about the ACCA basically is actually 50% all the way. Okay. So the next questions for July intake itself is going online classes, right? At the moment now, so we are running everything fully online. Okay. So if the situation should carry on, so definitely will be online. Okay. It's actually online live sessions. We will it's actually live session. You can see the lectures on screen, and then it's recorded. So all the sections basically is recorded, and then you are able to go back and then revisit back the classes. If you have any parts during your class you actually miss out or you don't understand, you can actually revisit back. Not a problem at all. Okay. Let's say if the situation go better, then there's no more MTO, all those things. We will actually run the program under hybrid teaching. Hybrid teaching meaning that partial online, partial face-to-face. Okay, so you are given a choice to actually come in to campus to actually attend your classes and see your lecturers in the classroom, or you can choose to maintain fully online. Okay, whether the difference between see the lecturers in the classroom and then online is actually no different at all. It's the same, because in the classroom the lecturers will also use the computer to actually teach the students, because you have students in online to attend. The only major difference that you'll see your lecturers in front of you lah, if you attend face-to-face class. Okay. Okay. You can also on your mic, if you want to ask any questions, you can also on your mic. Then I will address the questions. And if I can't address the questions, I have actually Farhan here. Farhan from ICW. He will be able to answer any ICW members' questions that you want. And then we have the team of the ICW colleagues here. They can actually answer your questions on the registration bit and all those things. And also we have the head of program here. Okay, Teresa, she's also here. She's able to answer any technical questions. Okay, so do put down any questions. Okay, if you like to ask any questions, do put down on the questions. Okay. Okay, the next question is actually from Asman again. I'm aware that ACC students under Yayasan Peneraju obtain accommodations, great facilities and supports lectures during their studies. My questions is, does ICW CFAB students get the same thing because they're under summer test, right? Okay, there's a difference between the Peneraju Professional Accountant Muda, which is a PPAM under the ACCA one, PPMA like they call that, and also this top-up program, Perakaunan Asas. Okay, the PPMA, PAPAM-A, we call it PAPAM-A in a way, is actually a fully funded program in such that they actually sponsor your studies and examination fee and all those stuff, and also accommodations. Okay, whereas this top-up program, the requirement there is actually 5 A's for ACCA, and at the moment now there is no CFAB there. Okay, but you have to actually maintain your certain grades in a way that you need to pass the paper. Okay, for definitely. But for this top-up program, basically it's open to everyone. Okay, and then because it's also 5A is simply because of the program requirement. Okay, it's not if you, let's say if you talk about the Peneraju going to offer this one, probably the requirement will be slightly higher. But under this top-up program, we actually maintain it under 5As. Okay, and the benefits that you will be getting, you will be getting the sponsorship for the tuition fee only for under the Yayasan, and the rest of the and also the external fee from Yayasan. And the rest of the fee, as I showed you earlier, basically will be covered by Sunway. So I'm afraid that there will be no accommodations, everything. So that you will have to actually fork up on your own. Okay. So because this is actually already mentioned that it's actually a top-up program. Top-up program is in a way like they assist you to actually to give you some funding so that you can pursue on with the program and then you can get the funding. Okay. So the requirement and then the interview, the selection section will not be that strict compared to, I'm not to say not strict, will be strict, but it's not that strict compared to the PAPAM-A. PAPAM-A will be more, they have to go through more processes. Okay, this one will be still have to go through a couple of processes, but will not be that many in a way. So chances of you get the scholarships under the top-up program will be slightly more easier, okay, compared to the PAPAM-A in a way. But PAPAM-A also we actually open for registrations. Okay, so I hope actually I answer your questions, Asman. Okay. Then the next one from Faiz, okay. Do ICW holders start with high salary if compared to other professional qualifications anywhere in the globe? Okay, it's if you're talking about salary, let's say if you're talking about starting pay basically, as I mentioned earlier, your starting pay because you are still in the program will be ranges between 2004 to 2008. Okay, but over the years of experience that you have, for definitely you will see a very good uh, salary range in time to come. And then if you are able to hold a very high level positions, okay, if you are able to grab the opportunities that's given to you, and if you have a very unique skills compared to any other people out there, I'm sure definitely the salary range that you will be earning is numerous, is definitely will be far much higher. Okay, but generally if you talk about top members who are currently holding a very high level position in the industry globally, I'm sure actually Fan have already mentioned to you, under the FTSE 100, majority of the top tiers positions, they are all ICW member. As you can see, the value and then the recognitions of the ICW members and the position they are holding uh, is clearly show you basically the program is actually very high sought after in a way. And then the skill that they give you basically, you will be able to actually gain differently, able to use it differently, and then it's actually will really benefits in what you plan to do in your future. Okay, so I hope I answer your questions. Okay, the next one, if we did CFAB at Sunway, can we pursue our ICW paper in other college or other countries? Okay, ICW is actually international, global recognitions. So the examination is actually run globally. So if you, let's say if you plan to pursue your ICW studies in other countries, continue ICW in other countries, by all means, yes, it's possible. You just have to actually sign up the examination center in different country. But then again, you got to understand the last three papers, that is where the training contracts come in. Okay, so for students who actually wish to actually work in big organizations, right? In Malaysia, you will have a better chance to actually join the big organization, professional services firm or big organization company. Okay, compared to any other countries out there, because when you study in other country out there, you are actually a foreigner. So to get a job in that country, particular country, so you might have to actually go through a couple of processes, and then you might not be able to gain the access to big organizations in the countries, like global recognized country companies and such. And as long if you, unless if you have contacts or if you have anyone that actually able to recommend you to actually work with the ICW authorized training employers in that particular country, then by all means, yes, definitely possible. Okay, we always tell the students that stay on with Sunway first. Okay, stay on in Malaysia, complete your whole program. At least you are more rounder in a way, and then in such that your exposure and your experience, you see a lot of things, see many things. Then after you gain the qualifications, once you are a member, that's where you can actually move out overseas and then seek for a higher career in a way, instead of looking for junior level. Because imagine that you are fresh grad, you are looking for junior level, you're actually fighting with the graduates in that country. So imagine every country they have a lot of local graduates. So you're fighting with them to look for a job. So of course the country will always reserve their place for their local graduates compared to overseas, unless you possess a special skills. So that's where I mentioned earlier, the special skill, where do you gain it is through experience. So the through the experience that you gain from here, complete the whole program, then when you go out and globally and you look for a job, is far much easier, because like I mentioned earlier, the position they apply will be a higher level position. It's no longer a long junior level position that will not have much competition. Okay, so I hope I answered the questions. Okay, any more questions, guys? Okay, do ask questions. Do you want to address any questions to Farhan? Farhan is here. I'd like to ask any questions to Farhan. Farhan, do you want to talk? Do you want to add on anything? For ICW, do you want to add on anything? Like global recognitions?
Hi, Chilong. No, I think you covered everything because I was keeping track on your answers, and it seems to me that you did cover all the most important points. Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably
I
they want to know
suppose
basically
when
how.
when the students ask like in terms of the salary, I always feel that uh salary trajectory different people is different. So, but when I speak to the students that finish ICAW, once you become full member, once you finish advanced level, it goes really well after that. So that is the key. So I suppose when you look at something like when you see that if I do a degree, I also get 2,000 plus. If I go to ICW that everybody says difficult, it's also 2,000 plus. So what's the big deal here? So that's what some of the students do say. But actually, that is the starting point. But then the graph is different, the trajectory is different, right? That's when you need to make sure that you are with the correct qualification that can give you the best of salary hike. And I feel with ICW training, and I did share previously that the advantage of being ICW member is that when we do have events with the member, it's very close and intimate, which means you have the ability to rub shoulders with the country Raja Ashad just now, and even the CEO from Petronas. You can ask them because you see the difference from other industry versus accounting. If you meet a fellow, for example, engineer, it's very difficult for you to strike any conversation because you don't know the experience that person go through, right? They might be from, if you're lucky, from the same university, you can say, oh, I'm from the same university. But because you are both ICW members, you can ask, sir, I mean, how is it when you do your papers? For me, it's like this. Or then they are more than happy to, because you already have this thing in common, they're more happy to entertain your questions and share your wisdom, their wisdom to you. And because these events are small, which means you have tendency more to rub shoulders and get to know these prominent figures in the market, and that also have a tendency to suck you into a better position and therefore increase your salary. Yeah, that's the only thing I want to add.
Thank you so much, Farhan. Okay, any more questions, guys? Farhan is here. You know, Farhan is actually a very busy man. He managed to get his time to come in here to do some sharing with you guys. Okay, do ask Farhan questions. Okay, if you have anyone to ask, this is my actually contact number, and this is my email address. If you have anything, do WhatsApp me or do email me. Okay, then I will get back to you ASAP. Then
I guess the one I want to add is, I see my advice is that uh like everything else, right? I work for ICW. If you ask me whether ICW is good, and I see ICW is good. You talk to another professional body and they say they are also good. Everyone is good, right? But I suppose the best is for you to actually speak to, you can do your research online. You can speak to previous already members that probably you know, and ask them. Like for example, this the lecturers has Rizal, right? So he has quite a unique experience where he's Yayasan Praja student, right? So you should ask him, what's it like being a Yayasan Praja scholars, right? Do they treat their scholars nice? What kind of support was given and that kind of stuff? You should ask. If I were you, I would ask. That's one. Second one, you should ask his experience when he was working at the audit firm, the 3 years when he was working. Is it true that you like a vampire? You go out, there's no sun. You come back, there's no sun. There's probably reason why Has Rizal is a bit fairer than me. Be that's the case, right? So you should ask that. And then also ask Has Rizal, like, because he also have friends. Like he said, there's a dynamic between when he was studying ACCA with some of his peers and housemates studying ICW. We are all here being as honest as we can. And ICW, first we believe in for you to become a professional accountant. When you become a professional accountant, whether ACCA or ICW, we're already happy. Ideally, then we want to encourage you to do ICW, but as long as you choose this path, we know that it's you're already correct. You're already at the right path. Then it's a matter of choosing which do really really well for your career. Yeah.
Do you want to take up the question, the next questions, or
Okay, so
Hasmiza want to take up the question?
which
It's
one?
on
The
top.
AI.
Yeah.
The one from Faiz, is it?
Yes, yes. How
Okay,
about it?
so basically, how ICW can answer this is that when you talk about AI and computer, so ICW a few years back they come up with this ABCD, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, and data analytics. So basically, what ICW does is that every year they change their module to update to make sure that the students when they sit for the exam, it's what is needed by the market. So when you talk about AI, we had a meeting internally with those department within the education team, and then they wonder whether they incorporate AI as a separate subject or this IT, or it will be put together throughout all the modules. And when they discuss, they believe that this AI and computer, it exists in everything inside the AA papers. It should be there as well, TC and that kind of stuff. So as we analyze the market, we ask our employers and then they give feedback. We continuously update. So what I'm trying to say is actually quite a good question. What I'm trying to say is that ICW they make changes, and the latest exciting changes that we did is for our audit and assurance paper. We incorporated data analytics. So the idea is like this: when during my time when I do auditing, when I do, it's a piece and paper exam, right? So when you talk about data, they can give you like maybe 5 samples, and then I read the samples and then I give my advice. Like for example, if you're talking about the salary, whether you're trying to check whether is there any bogus employee, so that they trying to sort of reflect inside the financial statement. There's only 5 sample, and within that 5 sample, I'm trying to see, right? Now it's still the same essence, but because when at working place you will be doing more data analytics, ICW has incorporated inside the exam, where you will have to open up a file, and inside there you have like maybe 3,000 employees, and then you have a quick system to check, data analyze to see what you're looking for. So what I'm trying to say is that it can sound daunting, but it's actually when you actually take time and do it, it's more relevant to the working life. That's what to me is actually very good at ICW. They really revamp every year, and that's from my perspective, from the ICW perspective. Maybe has result from the employer, from the lecturer's perspective, will have a different say. Yeah.
Basically, I would say is that if you are going to study in accounting and to become a professional accounting later on, of course, when you enter into the auditing world, all job done, all work done would be in Excel or maybe specific accounting software. So in that sense, computer literacy is very important for student or graduate itself to survive in this accounting world. Okay, there's a lot of things. Okay, when you learn about, okay, as mentioned by Farhan, the syllabus of ICW also has incorporated this kind of big data analytics in the syllabus. And also, when you are going to exam, ICW, you have known as computer-based exam. So your computer literacy, of course, you need to have a very good computer literacy so that it can help you during the exam and so on. Okay, the knowledge about big data, blockchain, and so on is always a good thing for you to learn because you can apply it for your day-to-day activities. As for me, I'm doing my shopping and everything online, so it's a very good and interesting things for you to know how did this happen and everything. So it's a good knowledge lah for me, right? So when you actually, okay, as for my experience as an auditor, I believe that the Excel skills, I mean, what else? Understanding how to present and so on is very important because it's how your senior look at you. Okay, so whether you're a good candidate or a good junior or not, it depends on your skills. It depends on your ability, whether you can actually perform the transaction, perform the audits or not. Can you actually understand the system or not? Those are the things that actually impacting your accounting career. So perhaps you can actually focus on both, okay, knowledge and also on the technology advancement. All right, that's from my view.
I would like to add a bit. So yeah, so now that I had a chance to really look at your question again. So I explained in terms of how ICW react towards the changes in terms of the computer and AI. But you did ask whether will there any impact on career. So it's a question like I myself is accountant. So we also look at this and we at first before we tell you, we also try to read so to make sure that we are safe. Of course, everybody will protect your own career first. I mean, it's a natural reaction, right? So when this is an issue a few years back, I did do my own research, and even when top officials from ICW UK came to Malaysia, I did ask them. I said that okay, we talked to the to that's I mean what we talk to the students, but I want to ask you like in terms of your personal opinion, right? How does it impact in terms of career accounting? So this president told me a few years back, the person called Paul Epling, he said, believe it or not, when calculator was invented during his time, they said that accountant will be obsolete. So he said that this thing that you are facing, I faced in my time when I started work. They said they invented calculator, and they said, oh, that's it. After this, accountant wouldn't be
A
in
difficult task already.
difficult task you might not need it inside the market. So what, and then he realized that, so to simplify, you still need a human to handle the calculator and then to communicate with another human. So now with the complex AI data analytics system, it's still the same concept. So it's a tool. You will need a human to manage the tool, and they are most likely an accountant. And then you need to communicate with another accountant or their top management to form a correct decision. So that's why, in that sense, a career as a chartered accountant is not as risk as some might say.
Mm.
It in terms of data as well, it supported that. So that time it was 2017. ICW is rocked in UK saying that their numbers of new members coming in will drop because everybody will want to go into the data programming, data mines, and that kind of stuff. But it did for a while, and after that they realized that they will still need chartered accountant to communicate with each other to get the correct decision, and then the numbers go up again. So now it's healthier than ever. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, if I can add, actually, if you're talking about artificial intelligence, they are intelligence, but they do not have emotions. Okay, some of the things that maybe professional accountants still need to exert their professional judgment and the critical thinking, so as to actually to apply to the situation. So even though, okay, for example, like when I work in EY and Sanyang, we have this EY Helix program where it can actually analyze your sales data for a high volume of data. However, for you to interpret the data, you still need humans to do that. Okay, because sometimes the what we call external factors or sometimes one-time events situation might actually impact all this. So that's why whether AI actually can I mean give a threat to our accounting career, it doesn't actually impact that bad. All right, it's actually improving our career because it make our life easier. All right, I hope that answer your question.
Okay, thank you so much, Hasmizal. Thank you so much. Okay, any more questions, guys? Okay, if there's no more questions, I think probably we'll end the sessions today. It's actually very good sessions with every one of you. We don't want to hold you guys too long because it's already 12 something already. I think you guys have to go for lunch already. Okay, really thank you so much, everyone. Okay, do WhatsApp me. Okay, or you can actually contact Hasmizal if you want to have any questions regarding about the ICW. Okay, and so then that's the end of the session today. So I really hope you guys to see you guys in Sunday, and then to sign up for the CFAB program, CFAB ICL program, and then Hasmila actually will be your lecturers. Then he
Most
will be
probably.
teaching you guys during the CFAB program. Okay. So thank you so much, Fahan. Thank you so much, Hasmila, for coming, for spending time here. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Hope to see you soon. Yeah.
All
Okay.
right. Okay.
Thank you so much. Stay safe, everyone.
Silung.
Thank you.
Rizal
Thank you.
juga.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Farhan.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
All right.
Thank you, Azra. Azrizal.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Okay
everyone
lah.
left the meeting already.
All left already. Okay. Thank you so much, Angela. Thank you so much.
No
Thank you so
problem, no
much.
problem.
Stop the recording first.